So it was just funny on that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so besides like BlizzCon getting announced, I saw like this little article or whatever that was stating that Nvidia was like slashing the production or whatever of like how good their graphics cards are for crypto mining for, I believe, Ethereum. And they were like basically gonna make it so that it doesn't mine crypto as good. And then they were actually coming out with a graphics card that is specifically for crypto mining. So I thought that was pretty cool because, I mean, part of this pandemic, has been the shitty fact that we have to struggle to find PlayStations and Xboxes. And then on top of that, these scalpers were poaching all of the damn graphics cards, right? These 3060s that people were looking forward to getting, coveting for their gaming and stuff. And so, how do you feel about that situation?
I think it's good that they finally released cards specifically for mining.
Right.
I think that's fantastic. That should have been happening, maybe a year or two ago. But I think it's good. I didn't check the high-end cards. I don't think they're changing the high-end graphics cards, but the 3060 is more of like the mid-range. Okay. I think it's like in the $300-$400 range. So it's a mid-range card. And I think it's good that they're doing this because, like you were saying, the secondary, the secondary markets for the cards were much more. It was very hard to get. People were freaking. When I was trying to build
like
a bot,
$600 for one of those things, right?
Yeah. When I was trying to build a bot for the PlayStation 4, I was building it based on a graphics card bot. And I was trying to modify it. But yeah, it's gonna help the consumers, to be able to get it for MSRP. Hopefully, they'll probably still be sold out because I feel like computers got more utility these days, especially if you're working from home or things like that. Like it's a great, thing to have, a good solid computer.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll help the consumer out. It'll hopefully drive the prices down, and I wouldn't mind upgrading my computer soon. At the beginning of the pandemic, the computer price parts were so much. I opted not to build a new PC this year.
Right.
But maybe towards the end of this year, depending on how much the prices are, supply and demand, I might be building, upgrading my PC because now it's, 6-7 years old. It still runs like a champ.
Yeah.
Still runs great. I can still play all the games.
Yeah.
I have the 1060, so it's a couple generations old. I actually bought, when I first built my computer, I bought a graphics card that was a Radeon 290X, and it was from a miner. It was a previously they used it as a mining card.
Yeah.
And I bought it, and it ended up dying like a couple of years later.
Oh,
and
they overworked that horse, huh?
Yeah. I got it for such a good deal. Like the dude was selling like 20 of them on his eBay, and they were like dirt cheap, dude.
Oh yeah, he probably ran them shits ragged.
That it didn't say it was a miner, but I was like, he's selling 20 cards of the same type. So I got it. I think at the time it was like a $400 card. And I got it for like 180, and it ran good. Well, when it did work, it ran like a beast at the time.
Right.
It was 10 times better than anything else. It was way better than PlayStation 4. But it ended up dying, and I got the 1060. And the 1060 is a good mid-range, card, and I got it for a super good deal at the time.
Nice.
And but yeah, I'm excited for for Nvidia making these changes.
Yeah, I kind of feel like on both sides. So, okay, besides the fact like the scalpers and whatnot, right? They're buying up these things to try to like flip them, because they know what they could be used for, right? The people who did buy them, got them regularly or whatever for crypto mining. It kind of sucks because now it's not as good. So, like if they had like a business plan, right? I'm going to buy like 2 or 3 of these cards, and then it's going to crypto mine. I'm going to make this much money or whatever. Now the fact that the processor or whatever, like it won't be able to produce as much crypto as you originally planned for. Yeah. So now you're trying to take in a loss, in a sense. you know, and
Yeah.
now you have to go and rebuy this other graphics card, you know, whenever it
Yeah.
comes out. I don't know when they said it was going to release, but now you have to do that, you know, if this was supposed to be your bread and butter. So that kind of sucks, but hopefully if they just put those graphics cards back up on the reselling market for a reasonable price,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll get some of their money back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You
Yeah.
know, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
it's good for all the other gamers. You
True.
know?
I would say that though that the 60, you know, I'm just gonna call it XX60 was always like the mid range card. So it was never the best at mining crypto.
Okay.
So all the people who were super serious always bought like
The more
for
high end
the
joints.
higher end ones because it was a better like return on your investment.
Right.
And mined it, you know, they use about the same electricity, but it yields a
Just
lot more.
performs a lot better.
So most of like this, you know, the big guys had, you know, those cards.
Mm-hmm. So you think it'll mainly only affect the scalpers
I think so.
and how much money they were trying to get on this mid-range
Yeah.
joint, and maybe reducing it so that people can just be able to buy it without, you know, worrying about getting gouged in the
Yeah,
eyes.
because I would hope that they wouldn't reduce the capabilities on the highest end card. Because if you're paying $600 for a graphics card, you should be able to do whatever the heck you want.
Everything. Yeah.
Because that's a lot, you
Right.
know. But for the mid range things, I think that should be like the entry point. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that one I think that's a good move. They're really like I think showing that they care about their customers because they could easily keep getting their money,
Yeah, yeah.
but they chose
Yeah,
to,
and not do a damn thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like how some of these companies are doing with just letting, you know, mad scalpers, you know, take every console that they
Exactly.
got, you know.
Yeah.
But
So I
Yeah.
think it shows that the companies, you know, they're looking out for their customers. So, you know, that's a great move.
yeah.
You
So
know?
hopefully we see like some type of a price change, you know, in the near future
Yeah.
for these graphics cards, so like they're not as sold out, you know, when they release,
Yeah.
because there's not as much hoopla about it, or that, you know, the demand for them, you know, goes down,
Yeah.
and so that people are able to get them, you know, for like a good decent price.
I love you,